Today we'll be talking about the upcoming election, who the 2020 Democratic candidates are, and who the frontrunners are. The Democratic candidates are Elizabeth Warren, Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, Pete Buttigieg, Kamala Harris, Andrew Yang, Beto O'Rourke, Cory Booker, Amy Klobuchar, Julian Castro, Tom Steyer, Tulsi Gabbard, Michael Bennet, Marianne Williamson, Steve Bullock, John Delaney, Joe Sesek, and Lane Messon.
And first, we have Elizabeth Warren. She is the Massachusetts senator and continues to outpace her competitors on policy, including calling to wipe out student debt for tens of millions of Americans. Warren is targeting Democrats who seek progressive purity from their 2020 champion, including in fundraising, eschewing fundraisers with big contributors seeking political favors. Warren raised close to $25 million in the third quarter, but unlike Sanders, who embraces the mantle of democratic socialism, the 17-year-old Warren is a capitalist at heart, having spent a career trying to make the system work for working people. And second, we have Joe Biden. He is the former vice president and continues to offer America a seductive promise, a reboot from the Trump catastrophe and a return to the Obama era. And rather than risk falling in love with a progressive new hope, many rank and file Democrats, particularly older voters, seem happy to fall in line behind Biden at 76 years old. At his Philadelphia kick-off rally in May, Biden touted his record as a Mr. Fix-It. "I know how to make government work," he said, but his campaign needs some maintenance first. He raised $15 million in the third quarter, a steep fall-off from his first haul of $21.5 million. Part of his trouble is that nearly 40% of the donors from his opening quarter maxed out with large contributions, meaning they cannot give again during the primary season. And aside in financial trouble, Biden entered the fourth quarter with less than $9 million cash on hand. And third, we have Bernie Sanders. Despite a recent heart attack, the 78-year-old Sanders is on a roll. Fresh off a strong debate performance and endorsement of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in front of a crowd of 25,000 in Queens, Sanders is riding a pontet combination of people, power, and cash. He raised more than $25 million in the third quarter, and the campaign's focus on grassroots organizing is peerless in the 2020 field. Sanders does not know how the left lane to himself as he did in 2016. Many candidates have embraced his once distinctive proposals, but he is seen as an uncompromising champion of Medicare for all, and he has one-uppered Warren's income-based college debt relief by calling for a complete wipeout of the nation's $1.6 trillion in student debt. And fourth, we have Pete Buttigieg. The 17-year-old mayor of South Bend, Indiana, vaulted from dark horse to liberal phenom. After hitting a ceiling with progressive, he is now making a play for the play's moderate ring with policies like Medicare for all. Is Mayor Pete a true contender? His fundraising is prodigious. Buttigieg raised more than $19 million in the third quarter, and he's got the resources to compete in early states like Iowa and New Hampshire. Plain-spoken and steeped in the values of the Christian left, Buttigieg has wowed pundits, but his lack of renaissance with black voters is holding him back. In recent polls, he's registered at 0% support among African Americans in South Carolina, Florida, and Mississippi, despite scoring in or near double digits with whites. And fifth, we have Kamala Harris. Harris showed fearlessness in the precision in attacking Biden in a June Democratic debate, but her subsequent debates have been lackluster, and Harris has been sliding in the polls, losing contact with the top tier and even dropping below Buttigieg. The Californian stands astride the tectonic plates of the Democratic Party, an establishment politician who has adopted a platform responsive to the passion of grassroots, including a Green New Deal and marijuana legalization. The straddle has always run the risk of falling to inspire either faction, and Harris now seems stuck in a mushy middle. But her money game remains adequate. Harris raised nearly $12 million for the third quarter, and her ceiling is high. Buttigieg's weakness in voters of color is Harris's quiet strength. Black women are the heart of the Democratic Party, and seeing themselves reflected in the Howard University-educated Harris could ultimately boost her prospects in an early voting state like South Carolina.